Hi everyone, my name's Rob and welcome to Tesla Tourists. So I got a call yesterday from the hospitality at Stockport County and they said they got a few tickets left for the 1883 restaurant for the playoff semi-final tonight in League One. Of course I said yes, so I'm now travelling on my way up there. Just got a quick stop at Kill Services for a quick charge and then we're going to make our way there. Because it's all a little bit last minute, didn't manage to get anywhere to stay overnight tonight, so we're going to have to head back after the game. So it'll be a bit of a long day, but I'm sure it's going to be worth it. So I hope you enjoy the journey. We decided to park at the local Morrison's, which is about a 20-minute walk away, and we did check with them that there are no parking restrictions, so it's a good place to leave the car and they do not appear to lock the gates at night. On the way to the ground we could see that it was likely to rain, so we decided to get a bit of a move on, and as we got closer we did see that there's plenty of on-street parking, which is an option, but the closer you get to the ground it is permit only. Booking the tickets was done on the phone and they were really helpful and everything got emailed through and you can download the tickets to your Apple Wallet. There was also a menu and itinerary sent and instructions on how to access the 1883 hospitality, which is where we had booked the 3-course dinner. By the time we got there it had started to rain, so we decided to get some shelter in the club shop first, which is next to the entrance to the 1883. We had a quick look round and I picked up a pin badge as a souvenir. I will give ratings of the experience as we go along, and for the booking and communication it gets a 7.5. One thing that would have been helpful is some information on their website about parking for visiting fans. Before we go in, here is some info about Stockport County and their ground, which is called Edgeley Park, and it was built in 1891 and the home of Stockport RFC. And County moved there in 1902 and it is a traditional 4-stand stadium with a capacity of 10,852. The Cheadle End is the home of the 1883, but the hospitality seats are located in the Danny Bagara stand, which is on one side of the pitch. The Cheadle End was developed in 1995 and the stand holds a total of 5,000 people. Stockport's nickname is the Hatters. Opposite the entrance to the hospitality is a selection of street food and a bar, and it looks like a good place to keep out of the rain. The 1883 opens 2.5 hours before the game, and we got there a few minutes early, and there is a seating area where you can wait. So let's have a look at some information about tonight's match. This is the second leg of the League One semi-final playoff, and it's between Stockport and Stevenage, with Stockport holding a 1-0 lead into this one, and they've also got the home advantage. The prize is a trip to Wembley for the final. Back to the 1883, and there are two options, which were the buffet and a 3-course dinner, and we'd gone for the latter. We scanned our tickets to get in, and after a quick search we were shown through into the 1883 where we got our wristbands. We were then directed to our table, which is a shared table for 10, and there were programmes on the table and they were allocated at 1 between 2. So what's in this deal? Well, obviously a 3-course meal, and you get the 1883 Q&A session along with a dedicated paid bar, pre-match entertainment with half-time tea and coffee, and after the match a man of the match presentation. Seating is in the executive seating area, and you get a match programme and team sheet 1 between 2. We got table service for the bar as soon as we sat down, and it did have a premium feel with a very professional staff. The lounge started to fill up quickly and there was a really good atmosphere, so first impressions of the facilities in hospitality and the staff come in with an 8 out of 10. The MC was Steve Bellis, who is the club president. He was excellent and very engaging with the audience. There was an initial introduction chat setting the scene for the match, and also a quick game of heads and tails, and luckily we did not progress too far into that, as we could have won a Stockport County dog collar. There was also a guess the crowd competition that you could enter using your phone using a QR code. There was then a short break before the meal, and there was plenty of time to head to the bar, which is a paid bar, to get a drink. We had our starter from the set menu, and that was ham hock terrine, and serving all guests simultaneously on the table was a very nice touch. Hopefully I'll get that on video for the main course. We then had an interview with the manager, Dave Challoner, and it was great to see the manager coming into the lounge. We then had our main course that was grilled supreme of chicken, and I did manage to catch the serving on camera. It was very nicely presented and a good quality meal. We were then asked if we wanted to order drinks for half time, but I'm not that keen on trying to drink a pint in 15 minutes. Alcohol free, of course, as I was going to be driving later, but they do have Guinness Zero, so that's a good thing. Off to the seats now, and we had to walk to the Danny Bagara stand as mentioned. These are at the side of the pitch, which I prefer. We walked through the 1883 buffet where that was served, and then through a corridor with pictures of players adorning the walls. Showing our wristbands got us through to our seats. We walked along the side of the pitch and up to our seats, which was a little confusing as we were in row G, and there was a row A to G at the front and another row A to G behind them. We were in the very back row with a good view, albeit the high balls would drift above the roof line. The seats were okay and the legroom was a bit tight, but the view was good and the atmosphere was great. The seats are going to get a 6.2. Half time, and after two excellent goals, Stockport were 2-0 up, which is 3-0 on aggregate. As we head back to the lounge, the atmosphere was clearly very good, and half time saw us get our dessert, which was a chocolate orange frangipan tart that was waiting for us on the table. To be honest, I found this one a bit dry and the base was a bit hard, so it made it difficult to cut through. Very nice though. The overall score for food and drink is 8.1. We also grabbed a coffee and then back to the seats for the second half. No more goals in the second half, but towards the end of the match, with the impending final at Wembley at the forefront of the crowd's mind, they were clearly planning to run on the pitch. This did in fact happen, despite the best efforts of the club to encourage them not to do so. At full time, it's back to the lounge, and there was the man of the match presentation that went to the scorer of the second goal, Kyle Wootton. It did actually look a bit of an own goal to me, but it went down to him, but it was a great strike either way, and it sealed the trip to Wembley. There is a link to the highlights of the game in the description, so please let me know what you think. So the next rating is for the Matchday Experience, which covers the entertainment before and after the match and also the atmosphere overall. Now the atmosphere in the ground was really good with an 8, and we are giving this one an overall score of 7.1 out of 10. What did this all cost? Well, it was £106.50 per person. What do you think? Is that good value? Well, I think the service and the food were both very good, and overall this was good value for money, and we're going to give that a 7.5 out of 10, which I think is quite reasonable. So overall the whole experience has scored a solid 7.4 and a really enjoyable night out. Now that I produced the video, I can tell you that Stockport went on to play Bolton in the final at Wembley, where they unfortunately lost, so they will remain in League One next season. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed my look around Edgeley Park and what the 1883 had to offer. If you want to watch any of my other videos, then please do subscribe, and thanks very much for getting to the end of the video. See you on the next one.